Well, welcome back, everybody. Here we are for our third episode with the distinct honor and privilege of being with Larry Mize. Larry, thanks for joining us again.
Good to be with you, Dennis.
Back as we were previous to in the Fred Haskins room here at Columbus Country Club, just surrounded by golf history, golf memorabilia. If you love the game, you would want to be here. This is really a special time and place. So I'm guessing, Larry, your whole career, especially since '87, everybody wants to talk to you about Augusta, as do I. But before we get there, just for a moment, as I mentioned earlier, you know, '87 was a really good year for you. Ryder Cup team, which is a big honor, and then you also tied for fourth in the U.S. Open. That's no small matter. And if I remember correctly, you tied for the lead with 9 holes to play.
That's correct.
And looking back on that now, do you happen to remember anything about those last 9 holes? I know your good buddy Scott Simpson goes on to win it, right?
Right. I wish I'd have played better the back nine. That's what I wish.
Okay.
But I played really good all week. I mean, I can't remember any specifics. I just know I think I shot 1 or 2 over par in the back nine and just didn't get the job done. And Scott Simpson played well. Tom Watson played well. He finished second. And Seve was third. And Crenshaw and I tied for fourth, and the interesting thing about that is Crenshaw, this rarely ever happens. We played together all 4 days.
All 4 days.
We were paired together the first 2 days, and we played Saturday and Sunday together, and then we tied for fourth.
At the end of the tournament,
we were still tied. If it was a fifth round, we'd be playing together again. So, but it was fun to play with Ben. He's a great guy. So it was a great week, and it's still my best U.S. Open ever.
So just looking back on your career, if anybody knows anything about Larry Mize, one of the things that jumps out, your tempo is extraordinary. Would you just say that's an extension of your personality? Is that a gift from the Lord? I mean, it's an extraordinary tempo.
Yeah, it's always been there. I've never really done much to. I mean, I guess there have been times where I've tried to make sure my tempo is good, keep it good, but it's always been very natural. I've never been one that could really generate a whole lot of clubhead speed. My clubhead speed came from a wide arc in my tempo. I got clubhead speed up. If I started trying to swing too fast and get quick, I didn't hit it very well. So it's just not kind of me, but it's my DNA.
No doubt about it. So we could talk about a million things, but obviously I'm not going to get in a room with Larry Mize and not ask him about '87 and Augusta National. So you know the Lord at this point?
Right, that's
because in '86 you really get serious.
Right, because younger, it's always awkward to me, but I really came to just a better understanding of my relationship, that it was a relationship with God through Jesus Christ in '86. So yes, I was firmly playing golf for Christ in '87.
So by the time you arrive in Augusta, at Augusta National, it would be April of '87. You have a 1-year-old son?
1 week shot of a year.
One week shot of a year, and you're walking with the Lord like He's called you to walk with Him. So your family's in order, your priorities are in order. Jesus is the most important thing. Obviously, golf's important. It's your career. It's what He's given you the gift to do.
It's behind faith and family. No question.
Distant second, third.
Well, Christ makes my family life better, and then all those first two make my work life better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you arrive at Augusta National, and I don't recall the sequence, but could you just relive where were you at first round, second round, third round, going into the fourth day?
Sure. Well, back then we played twosomes, and we repaired every day. So I played with John Cook the first day, and the course was playing very hard and fast. John shot 69, I shot 70, and he was first, and I was tied for second. So sure enough, we're in the last group on Friday, which makes it even more nerve-wracking. You're in the last group already on Friday. So we go out there and play there. I shoot even par on Friday, so I'm still okay. I can't remember who's leading, but I'm a few groups back. And I go out there and shoot 72 on Saturday. But the big thing on Saturday, which the big deal was, I came to number 12, and I'm 2 over par for the day. So now I'm even par for the tournament, and I hit it in the water on 12, the par 3. So I take my drop, knock a wedge up there about 10 or 12 feet, and make the putt for bogey to go 3 over, which was a big putt. People say putts, birdies, pars. Sometimes pars and bogey putts are huge when you make them. So that kind of made just a bogey rather than a double. And then I birdied, I think 13, 15, and 18 coming in to shoot even par again which got me back in the thick of things and gave me momentum going into Sunday. So now I'm 2 under going into Sunday, and let's see, Maltby and Crenshaw in the last group. They may have been tied, Roger Maltby and Crenshaw. You had Norman and either T.C. Chin or Langer was in the next group, and then you had Seve and T.C. Chin or Langer in that group. They were there, and then I was playing with Curtis Strange, and I got off to a decent start, and it was kind of funny going back the night before, Saturday night. I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to win, but I told Bonnie, my wife, I said, I got a good feeling. I don't know what's going to happen, but I had a good feeling. And I'd had that Saturday night before Memphis too, which was interesting, but I didn't know I was going to win or
Would
think
you
I was
call
going
it
to
a
win.
piece? Did you have a just a sense of
I guess
peace?
I had a piece. I just felt good. I slept really well, and I didn't think wasn't predicting I was going to win. I just said, I feel good. I think it's going to be a good day, and I went out there and felt good about it. And I'll never forget. Played the front nine, and I think I shot right even par, even 1 under. I'm not really sure. And then I stood on the 10th tee, teed off, and there's a big leaderboard. 10 goes down the hill, 18 comes back up, and the 18 leaderboard's right there, and I saw my name right there in contention. So I proceeded to bogey number 10. I had to look at the leaderboard. But I made a good up and down on 11, made a nice putt for par, and I birdied 12, and I birdied 13 to take the lead. And then I gave it right back when I missed a short par putt on 14, and 15, I made the mistake of going for the pins on the left side of the green, and you don't go for that pin in 2. And but I pulled it, hit over the green, went in the pond on 16, which is not good.
Well, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, so
Wow.
then I had to drop there, chip it back up the hill to the green, and then the green slopes away from you. So obviously I chipped it short, and then chipped it up and got up and down for bogey. But nobody was really doing anything, so I was, I think, just 1 shot back at the time. And I just said, that's okay, just keep pushing forward. And I parred 16, 17, came to 18, knowing I needed a birdie. Hit a good tee shot and knocked of course, playing fast, hit a big 9-iron up there. The pin was on the front left. It hit, rolled up the hill, came back down the hill about 6 feet, and shaking in my boots, I knocked it in for birdie. And to birdie the last hole, that was
pretty special.
That was very special for me to do that. And I just had to go. They took me over to the Jones cabin by the 10th tee and wait. And Seve came in next. He got up and down from the bunker on to the right of 18. He was tied at 3 under with me. Norman came in, hit a great putt and missed it, and he was tied at 3 under. So now Maltby and Crenshaw were 2 under. If they hold out, they win. If they don't, there's a playoff. Well, they didn't hold out, so they took us to the putting green to get ready for the playoff, and they didn't make their putt. So now I'm in a playoff with the number 1 and 2 or 3 guy in the world, and it was. It was going to be fun. I mean, that's why you work hard. You work hard to play against the best, and I was looking forward to it. And I was nervous, but I like to say the butterflies were flying in formation. I felt good.
That's great.
I felt good. I felt
That's
good about it. My nerves were good, and you need to embrace the nerves because they help you hit it farther. They help you focus better. It's a good thing. So you don't want to be. You want to be nervous and just use it as a positive.
So the 3 of you go to 10. Seve doesn't make it. So now it's you and Greg at 11.
Right.
I'm really curious. You must have hit a really good drive because if I remember the film, you were right out there in the middle of the fairway somewhere.
I was fine. 10, I got the springboard effect off the downslope, so I was in front of them on 10, which is unusual. 11 went back to normal. Norman's in front of me 20 yards or so, which is normal. I'm hitting a 5-iron. He's hitting an 8-iron. And, the pins, excuse me, to the left over by the pond, I'm trying to draw a 5-iron in there, which is my shot. And, of course, not wanting to hit it left, I kind of got ahead of it and spun out and missed it right at the green. And then Norman hit his 8-iron on the right fringe, which kind of gave me some life because I was frustrated about my shot. But when he hit it on the fringe about 30, 40 feet away, I thought, okay, let's put this ball close to the hole, put the pressure back on him. And the greatest thing about the shot was there was only 1 shot I could play. Had to use a sand wedge, just carried a 56 degree back there. Anything with less loft would be too hot. I couldn't land it on the green because the greens were so hard and fast. It was sloping away toward the water. Excuse me. And so played pitch and run, which you practice at Augusta. You got to have that shot around there because sometimes you can't get under it on the tight fairways. And I knew the putt. There was the same line I made a par putt from in regulation, and I knew it was going to break right to left. And I just said hit a good aggressive shot and put the pressure back on him, and it just looked good, and I was just,
And then it was,
then it went in the hole, and I went running around screaming like a
yeah,
madman.
Pfizer flying.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It was,
I-
what
I
a
was-
electrifying moment.
It was unbelievable, and now you got to get ready for the play to go to the next tee. You got to expect him to make it, and so I just waited for him to make it and was ready to go to the next tee, and he missed it, and then I was the '87 Masters champion.
Yeah, here we are so many years later.
Yeah.
So, quick question on that. So, you've got I think I read this somewhere. Did you put the wedge in the bag that week, or?
I did. I was playing the Jack Nicklaus Muirfield sand wedge, and my wedge was getting worn out, but I didn't want to put a new wedge at the Players Championship because of all the angles there. So I put it in at the Masters, and it was identical, but still I put a new wedge in, so that's what I chipped in with. And they like to have a club that's instrumental, the Augusta National does. And so they said, we understand, we can wait. So once I wore the grooves down, I gave it to them, and it's in the clubhouse with them. It's where it belongs. I'm glad they have it.
Absolutely, how appropriate. So, last question, just on this piece. What an extraordinary moment. I mean, it's going to live for, until Jesus comes back. Maybe even beyond that. Who knows? What was it like standing over that wedge shot? The whole world's watching you. CBS is right there. You got a gazillion people in the stands. Are you guys so trained? Are you that focused that you're not thinking about any of that? Are you literally that focused on that shot?
Well, that time I was not. We're not that way all the time. When we're in, as they say, when we're in the zone, when we're really playing well, yes, you're that focused. You just focus on the shot. You're used to. When I first went on tour, I'm thinking about the people. I'm thinking, is the red light on the camera? Or am I on TV? You think about all this stuff. But after you get out there and you start getting comfortable, you don't think about that at all. I don't know when I'm on TV. I don't think about that.
You're just playing golf, best.
And you got to enjoy being in front of the fans. You got to have a little bit of a showman in you to be out there and enjoy kind of playing in front of people. You got to enjoy that. And but at that particular time, I was laser focused. I had to hit the shot. I was zoned in, and that's one of the reasons it turned out well. When you're not zoned in, that's when you get in trouble. You have a little indecisiveness. That was the greatest thing about the shot. It was only one shot I could play. Totally committed, totally decisive, and it was great.
Interesting.
But you got to be that way, and that's why we're always working mentally to be in that frame of mind, because that's when you're going to play your best. You start thinking about exterior factors, you're in trouble.
Well, a lot of application there for the Christian walk too, right?
Same thing. We got to keep our eyes focused on Christ, and that's it. The author and perfecter of our faith.
You sure you didn't miss your calling? You could have been a preacher.
No. I don't want to be. I'm just I'm blessed, and I love sharing the love of Jesus with people.
Oh, that's good. Well, brother, thanks again, and thanks for joining us this particular Friday. We'll be back for one more Friday with Larry Mize and his journey in golf, and his journey, more importantly, infinitely more importantly, his journey in Christ. God bless.